Sanguine Sweeper encounter brings a whole new mechanic. A shield that prevents you from earning points. I've seen a lot of misconceptions about it, so let's figure out how to earn 3 stars on this boss. So what is the new mechanic? It is called Corruptive Barrier, and under its protection, the boss has higher attack and takes no damage, unlike bosses protected by Miasma's shield. In order to move on with this fight, you have to remove the barrier first. After Sanguine Sweeper summons it, he performs lunges at your agent, which you have to parry using defensive assists. Each successful parry reduces the barrier by about 12%, up to 3 times. Sweeper gets staggered after the third one, but if you have missed one parry, he will give you one more chance with an extra lunge. Successfully using 3 defensive assists brings down about a third of the barrier. If you take too long removing it afterwards, the boss will perform the same sequence of lunges again, but if you were to wait for them, the fight would take too long. So let's see how to remove the barrier faster. When it comes to defensive assists, the shield is only vulnerable to these specific lunges. Unlike Miasma's shield, there are no other attacks that are better at handling the barrier. You'll have to remove the rest of it by dealing damage. It takes more from anomaly attributes and less from critical attacks. And as usual with this condition, it doesn't include critical damage from anomalies such as Jane's core skill or Arya's M1. Taking down the barrier deals days to the boss, but its presence doesn't exactly prevent the boss from getting stunned in the first place, and that's one mistake I've seen players do. Some feel the need to reduce the barrier before stunning the boss, worried about losing that damage multiplier. But it's exactly the opposite. You want to stun the sweeper to reduce the barrier faster. Since it shreds with damage dealt to it, stun damage multiplier applies to it fully. When the barrier is taken down, the boss takes large convert damage. And here I would like to debunk another misconception. The shield doesn't record damage dealt to it, it deals the same number every time. That's why it is important to use the first 3 barriers to reduce the barrier. You will have to deal less damage to remove it for the same reward. Lastly, if you bring an agent with an evasive assist to the fight, you will have to manually choose the correct direction for the launch parry. If you don't, the agent with an evasive assist will evade the attack, losing you the barrier damage. The battle with Sanguine Sweeper starts with a control skill, a sequence of attacks that you have to parry or dodge with correct timings. The sequence starts with a purple flash that you can dodge or parry, and there is practically no difference between these options. After that, watch out for the moments when the boss starts the swinging motion towards your agent. The third attack comes out slightly faster than the previous one, and the fifth, the last one, takes slightly longer. You can keep an eye on the parry button and hit it as soon as it lights up again for all attacks, except for the first and the last one. To not mess up the timings on the last hit, wait for the red charge to burst into a flash. 500 performance points are awarded for each successful parry or dodge, and 2000 for triggering the shutdown by correctly countering the entire sequence. The remaining performance points can be earned by parrying the Corruptive Barrier lunges. If you want to, you can choose to dodge some attacks in the control sequence, or even all of them, but the timings for dodging are less forgiving. You have to do it slightly later than you would with a parry, when the attack is just about to hit your agent. If you dodge the last one, you will get a prompt for an attack on the boss, dealing the same shutdown damage. However, I wouldn't recommend going for this strategy. Dodges give you less decibels, and you would want to use the sequence to prepare for dealing with the Corruptive Barrier. In fact, consider going back and forth between 2 agents whose ultimates you will need up faster than the third one. In my runs, doing so was crucial for being able to hit Arya's ultimate right before the stun. Besides, if you time the last parry on your stunner, you can build a bit more days on the boss with their assist follow-up. If you want to bring an agent with an evasive assist, At least for the control sequence, they won't be a hindrance, as evading boss attacks still counts. And if the last assist lands on them, you will get the same prompt for an attack to trigger shutdown as for dodging. Lately, bosses have been having separate long attack streams. Sanguine Sweeper's moveset, however, takes me back to mid-second season bosses, when they had a set of shorter attacks and chained them together for powerful sequences. First attack is a jump, followed by an uppercut. Second is a combination of a variable downward and upward swing, in any order. Third is a large cut, followed by smash. Fourth is a charged attack. Fifth is a swing, followed by a round X-shaped attack. The last attack starts with a little run towards you and ends with a slash. The first hit in this attack is dodgeable only, if you don't have agents with evasive assists in your team. For a ranged attack, Sanguine Sweeper throws 3 blades in a fun shape at your agent's position. Even with the successful reaction to the flash, you can still get hit by the traveling blade if you jump back along its trajectory. So dodge to the side or move forwards. If you have an agent with an evasive assist in the team that is off-field during this attack, you can evade it. While the Corruptive Barrier is up, Sweeper gets a special ranged attack, 2 throws from above, followed by a smash. The throws can be evaded as well. All these attacks can be chained together by the boss for a longer sequence. Most of them can be handled by either parrying all golden flashes if you intend on building days, or parrying once and using defensive assist follow-ups or other attacks to avoid the rest of the damage. Only a couple of sequences can be tricky. When staying too close after an X-shaped round attack, you can get trapped by a circling attack afterwards. It deals 2 hits of damage, first one without any flashes. Make sure to keep your distance or handle the attack by using invincibility frames. The walk attack can be disruptive too. If you miss the first dodge, then the quick assist prompt will prevent you from parrying the second hit, denying you an opportunity to deal defensive assist days. Sanguine Sweeper is weak to electric and ether and resistant to fire. His defense is on the lower side. He has 150 stun damage multiplier and a 15-second stun duration. This boss is suited for anomaly teams the most, allowing them to clear the Corruptive Barrier faster. However, with the long stun and multiple buffs related to it, you might have a better success replacing your second anomaly with a stunner. Obviously, Nangon is the best bet for this fight. She is incredibly powerful, stuns fast, and works as a sub DPS for other anomaly agents. But if you don't intend on pulling for Nangon, Lycan with Awakened potential can be a decent replacement, depending on the main DPS. Miyabi is perfectly capable of clearing the boss with him on the team. If you don't care for stunners in anomaly teams, I was able to 3-star the boss with Yanagi, Yuzuha, Vivian. But Alice, without any vertical investment, might struggle due to not matching his attribute weaknesses. Still, remember that you can earn about 10,000 points through performance mechanics and large shutdown and convert damage, so even if your agents feel weaker, at least 2 stars is very doable. Thank you so much for watching. If you have found this video helpful, please leave me a like and consider subscribing to not miss the future content. I will see you soon. Bye bye!